back to my channel. It's your girl Sean. I'm back for another video. In this video today, I'm going to be sharing with you guys a letter that was sent to me from one of you. But before I get into all of that, if you're brand new to my channel, you may not know it, but I'm a life and dating coach, but I'm also an author. I've actually written 3 books. The first one's called The Dating Game, How to Find Yourself While Looking for Mr. Right. My second book, Breaking the Man Code, The Key to Unlocking His Heart. And my third book is Getting Unstuck, How to Create the Life You've Always Wanted to Live. All 3 of these books will be linked below. They're all available on Amazon, Kindle, and BarnesandNoble.com. And if you want to work with me one-on-one as your personal life and dating coach, send me an email to itscoachshawn@gmail.com. That's itscoachshawn, SHAWN, @gmail.com. All right, so now to move on to today's letter, which is truly a doozy. Without any further ado, let's go get 'em. I'm 41 years old, married for 15 years, been with my husband for 25 years since high school. My husband and I have 2 boys, 15 and 12. Our relationship was perfect for 11 years. We had great communication, he never cheated, and I felt so loved. I began to have health issues in 2008. I found out I had endometriosis. I gained a lot of weight and eventually had a full hysterectomy. After this, my relationship with my husband began to be strained. I found out that he cheated on me with many women, prostitutes, and even a family friend. I was heartbroken. It almost broke my faith in God. I thought, why? Why now that I'm going through all of this? Why? Because of my health? Maybe this was all too much for him. Maybe he broke too. So I forgave him. I began to do all that I could to fix our relationship and our communication. We bought a 4-bedroom home. I helped him work to start a business while working a job that I loved. I cleaned up both our credit and we began to grow back in love. At least I felt. We both got closer to God, began going to church, and got really involved together. We met a couple who helped me immensely win my own journey to God. About 6 years ago, a high school friend of mine fell on hard times. She had 8 children and was getting out of a domestic violence situation. I invited her and her children to move in with us because she needed to get on her feet. My husband was not pleased. He told me that he didn't like her and that he thought it was unfair to us and our children. But I begged and convinced him. She was a really good friend of mine and I couldn't let her and her children go on the street. Eventually, I helped her build her credit, got on Section 8, and found her a house. She moved out of our home 8 months after moving in. She then became pregnant. I asked her over and over who was the father because I just wanted to gossip with her.
She said that she would surprise me.
She was 5 months pregnant when I walked in on her and my husband having sex. I blew up. I wanted to kill them. I couldn't take the betrayal. I went back the next day and destroyed my husband's property, his clothes, his car, and his prized possessions. I kicked him out and cut all contact with her. I didn't speak to neither one of them, but I didn't notice that I wanted to divorce my husband. I think the whole time I was hoping that he would beg for me. She had their daughter, and shortly after, they both came to visit me. I was shocked, but I let them in. They apologized and vowed that their relationship was only going to be about taking care of the child. She cried and begged me to take my husband back and allow her to just be my friend. He promised to be open and honest with me and to love me and only deal with her when it was in regards to the daughter. I'm gonna have to summarize it from here. So anyway, the wife goes on and she is completely accepting. There was a private school that the writer and her husband's children go to. This other woman wanted 2 of her children to go there. The child that her husband shares with her and also another one of her children. So the writer, the wife, was even doing carpool with her own children and her husband's child with this mistress. She was taking them to school and everything like that. The writer eventually got sick and could no longer do the carpool. So the other woman said, you know what, we want to keep this whole carpool thing going. How about I just take your van? So she's back and forth using the wife's van, taking the kids back and forth to this private school. And so eventually the husband comes to the wife and he's like, you know what? I want to move to Atlanta. I want to pick up everything we have in California and I want to just get us a big house in Atlanta. So the wife is all for it. She said he could still be a good father, despite the distance and all of that. So then the mistress says, I want a big house in Atlanta too. As if to say, if y'all move, I'm coming with. So then the husband says, I love my wife, but I feel like I should take care of her. And the wife doesn't know what she should do. Now listen, when I read your letter, I literally threw my phone at how forgiving you have been. Of course, as a Christian, you said you got into church and all of that. I know you want to forgive, but forgive doesn't mean you have to forget. And it also doesn't mean you have to be a fool. Now, this man has cheated on you countless times. Before this situation even arose, he had already cheated with many women, prostitutes, and even a family friend. So I don't understand what made you think he could be trusted with a high school friend living under the same roof. I feel like this is beyond just the disrespect, even though that's a big part of why I'm upset. I'm also like, what's going on with you not considering your health? You said you had 2 boys, 15 and 12. The man was sleeping with prostitutes, with random women, with a family friend. Now this woman who had 8 children. You can't let somebody hop in and out of other people's beds, hop in and out of yours. That's not even healthy. That's not even safe. You're not even guarding your own health. It's like you're doing all of this. This is in nobody's Bible. God didn't give you permission to do any of this. This is all you. God told you you don't have to put up with any of this. So why are you doing it? Because a piece of man is better than any man? I know you also go on the letter to say, you're thinking about, you're trying to figure out how you can leave. How can you feel like you've invested too much in his business and invested too much financially, and you don't want him to up and leave and decide to be with her. You can divorce him. You have grounds. Clearly, the other child is proof of his infidelity. I understand. You sound like a really great person. You didn't want your friend to be on the street with 8 children. And I feel like she wanted your life. That's another thing. I think she wanted your life. She wanted your man. She was able to see after living with you for 8 months how you were living. And she started to envy it. Maybe she started to see how he was treating you and got a little jealous of that. So then she pushed up on him, saw what you were driving. And as soon as you got sick and couldn't drive your own children around, she's volunteering to get the keys to your truck. You got this woman driving your truck around town with your children in it. And then when you say you and your husband want to move to Atlanta and get you a big house, she says she want a big house too, and he's going to give it to her? Like, what does it take? That's what I really want to know. What does he have to do? What is it going to take to make you snap out of this? It's almost like you're hypnotized, mesmerized, and fantasizing about him being better than he really is. I think he feels like there's nothing he can do that will get rid of you. Like you'll never walk away. And I hope it's not because you're 41. I hope it's not because you have 2 children that you think nobody else will want you. It's like when you hear situations like this and you hear stories like this, people are always like, it could never be me. I could never be in a situation like this. That could never be me. The thing about it is this man didn't start off being doggish, being this brazen, this out in the open with his foolery. He didn't start off like this. But for you to have gotten here, that means there were plenty of times much earlier on in the relationship where you were acknowledging and accepting bad behavior. I don't know if he was always flirty with the waitresses, had too many female friends. Like there had to have been something. You ignored a lot to get here. And that's how it happens. It's like everything happened gradually and the level of disrespect just got a little bit more and a little bit more till he thought it was okay to do everything that he's doing to say, you know what, I'm going to take care of her. How is he going to take care of her and split your family finances in half? Not only taking care of her and the daughter he has with her, but then other kids. And I forgot to mention, so the mistress ended up getting a new boyfriend. So now she has 10 children. How is he going to help with all of that? It's like you are letting him completely dictate the relationship as if you have no say. Like, I don't understand why you're accepting of all of this. You don't blame this on religion. Don't put God into this. God never approved or told you to do any of this. So don't try to bring God into it because God would never have you out here like this. Your own father wouldn't deal with it. So why would you think your heavenly father was like, no, it's cool. Yeah, let him take care of her and all her 10 children and let him have a baby on you while he's your husband. This is a community man right here. He doesn't belong to anyone. He doesn't belong to her. He doesn't belong to you. He only belongs to himself. There is you have given him no reason to change. He doesn't think he's going to lose you. You done put up with all of this. He doesn't think all of a sudden you're going to get some self-esteem. All of a sudden you're going to get some self-respect and say, I deserve better than all of this. He doesn't think that moment will ever come. Is he right about you? Do you love him more than you love yourself? Because that's what it sounds like. That's a dangerous situation to be in a relationship where you love the other person more than you love yourself. Never lose who you are. Never lose that relationship. That's the most important relationship you'll ever have. And that is the one you have with yourself. People come and go. People mistreat you under the guise of love. They say they love you and hurt you at the same time. That's not love. All he has brought you is pain, and if you're not careful, he'll bring you diseases as well. You're lucky that if the first thing you should do is get checked. She's sleeping around. That's why she keeps popping up with all these babies, so she don't like using protection. Clearly, he doesn't either. What are you doing to protect yourself and your children? There's nothing wrong with forgiving, but not to the extent where you're making a fool of yourself. They're making a fool of you. I feel like he's setting you up to be sister wives. He'll get y'all down to Atlanta and say, you know what? It's so much work. It's so financially draining to pay for 2 houses. Maybe we should just all live together to save money. Like they're setting you up. Because she doesn't care because her self-esteem is low too. He knows how to pick them. Her self-esteem is low too because she's got 10 children. He's the only one who's semi-interested in wanting to take care of her. She knows how to pick them. Unfortunately for her, she picked your husband. She's got her claws in your husband. Will you let her have him? He's no prize anyway. What are you really getting besides a community man? To be truly honest and truly blunt, I'm not even really sure why you wrote me. Because if you watched any of my videos before, you know that I would say this is unacceptable. I hope that you're not expecting me to give you, a grown woman, permission to leave your own husband when the Bible already gave you an out. I hope that's not what you're looking for. What exactly it is that you thought I would tell you to do. Go back to the lying, cheating man that had a baby on you. Go back to him. Did you really think that that's what I was going to say? You're scared to do what's best for you and your children. That's okay if you're scared. But do it scared. If that's what you choose to do. I definitely recommend that you pray about the situation, but this man doesn't seem like he wants to change. He's not interested in changing. Look at all you've accepted. He doesn't think he has to, so he won't. Are you going to change? Is he right about you? That's what I want to know. He thinks that you're here because you don't think you can do better. Regardless of what you're going to say, this is a self-esteem issue. If you thought you could do better, you would have been left him. If you thought you could make it on your own, you would have been left him. Don't say you're staying with him for money either. Because what's the price of peace in your mind? This woman is just the flavor of the week. And when he gets tired of her, he's going to be introducing you to another woman and another baby that he's had. He's going to keep this going until you stop it. You have a 15-year-old and a 12-year-old son. What kind of husbands and fathers are they going to be based on his example? At some point, you as their mother need to change the narrative. Tell a new story. You don't want to raise men to be just like him. Look at what you're teaching them is normal. That's doing more harm to the kids than good. My prayer for you is that you get the strength, the courage, and the wisdom to do what's best for you and your children. It's not your responsibility to take care of this other woman. Yes, she used to be your friend, but a friend wouldn't sleep with your husband and get pregnant by him. She knows how babies are made at this point. She already had 8 before then. She wanted your husband, and she wanted to stay in your life as well. And then she's like, let's just still be friends. Take him back and let's still be friends. You could never trust them again. And then she wants to move with you guys. Now he wants to take care of her. There's more to it than that. He has developed feelings for this woman. You're going to let him love somebody else? If you had done even 1/10 of what your husband has done to you, he would never forgive you and leave you. Why are you allowing him to do all of this to you? It shows how little you love yourself, how little you respect yourself, to let him do all of that and still lay down next to you and still call himself your husband. In what way? Husband isn't just a title. It's an action word. How are you being a husband? I feel like if you stay with him because you don't want to start all over, that's you having more faith in your current finances and more faith in this lying, cheating husband of yours than in God. that God wouldn't take care of you? You think that this man right here, this lying, cheating man right here, can take better care of you than God can? Because that's what you're saying by staying with him, saying, I don't know how the finance is going to get worked out, so I'm going to have to just stay. I'm going to have to stay and get disrespected. Stay and wait for the next woman to pop up with her child. To give my kids more and more half siblings. When are you going to love yourself enough to do what's best for you and your children and consider no one else? All right, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Be sure to thumbs up if you did. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on life and love, consider purchasing one of my books. The first one's called The Dating Game, How to Find Yourself While Looking for Mr. Right. My second book, Breaking the Man Code, The Key to Unlocking His Heart. And my third book, Getting Unstuck, How to Create the Life You've Always Wanted to Live. They're all available on Amazon, Kindle, and BarnesandNoble.com. Or you can work with me one-on-one as your personal life and dating coach. You want to start off 2019 the right way, letting go of bad habits and baggage and embracing a new life and a new you with more strength, wisdom, self-esteem, confidence, and courage. You can definitely do that by working with me one-on-one. Send me an email to itscoachshawn@gmail.com. That's itscoachshawn, SHAWN, @gmail.com. I love you guys, and I hope that I'll see you in the next one. Be sure to subscribe, turn on that little bell that you'll always know whenever I upload a fresh video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Until next time.